Live. We are now streaming on YouTube, and we are streaming on Periscope and Twitter. So this is a live stream as we go. We're going to talk about today about freedom and marriage, and let me get to the notes. So at Learn and Live, we take relationships and we help you thrive from the bedroom to the boardroom in marriage, family, faith, leadership, and communication. We want you to thrive in that particular realm. And today we're going to talk about freedom and marriage. We normally stream on Facebook, but now we're opening up our parameter to stream in more places. So thank you, Mevo, for going over and authorizing multi-destination. And if Facebook Live, if you could open up the rest of the Pandora's box, I would be awesome. I'd pay you more money. Anyway, so freedom and marriage. Are you going over and you married? Are you going over, do you see freedom in your marriage? If you don't, and you don't see that in your marriage, there might be a small problem. And I need to go and help you identify what freedom you have in marriage. Let me change something one moment. Sorry. There we go. All right. So, do you go over and see freedom in your marriage? Because I know I do see freedom in my marriage. So how do we help you go see freedom in your marriage? Well, number one, you have to understand what benefits you have in marriage. There's actually, at least in our book, Leave No Marriage Behind, we identify 5 major benefits in marriage. And here are some of them that you need to know about. Number one is emotional intimacy. Emotional intimacy is you going over and just taking sex and not just connecting just physically, but you're connecting emotionally and bringing that together and marrying that together. That is key to go have in your relationships. If you're not connecting emotionally in your relationships, you're losing out on a major benefit. If sex is just a physical reaction for you, your marriage is going to be dying, especially from the wife's perspective. Wives connect more emotionally than men typically do, but men have emotions too, so we both need to connect emotionally. Like going over and let's say you have a bad day at work. If you're not sharing those moments with your spouse, then how are they going to go connect you throughout the day? You know, most men are like a microwave, and they're like, boom, this is what I want and what I want right now. Women in intimacy are more like a crock pot. It's overtime and all throughout the day. You need to go over and think about that as you're going and connecting. So emotional intimacy needs to happen in your marriage, and this is a benefit and a blessing. At first in my marriage, I didn't see it. It didn't make sense to me. But as I gone over and grown and got older, it's gone over and seen that. Because guess what? Bodies are going to age. Things are going to slow down. You're not going to have the same rhythm and battle space. You'll have kids. And that emotional intimacy is definitely key to go over and to have. I consider it one of the highest values in my marriage. Secondly is friendship. Friendship goes over and brought us together to go over into marriage like this. But when we go over and after we get married, we consider we're just like battle buddies, walking hand in hand like this, or sometimes walking back to back like this. But we can tend to walk away and say, who the hell are you? Who the hell are you? What's the point? And then boom, you pop out and you leave. Definitely not worthwhile, definitely not key. So keep your friendships alive. Go over and see that as a benefit and a blessing. For our marriage specifically, we go over and we say that we recommend you go over and do this. You don't have to, but go over and have monthly anniversaries. Go out and have regular, weekly, or monthly date nights. Don't just go over and wait until it's the anniversary time or it's Christmas or the parents dropped in and now we can have babysitting. We need to take advantage of that on a regular basis. Number 3, very much key if you have kids, is parenting. That is a huge blessing to go over and have. Is to have 2 parents coming in together so your kids can go over and thrive. Even at my distance of where I'm at, I'm still interconnected in parenting as much as I can. Leveraging social media, leveraging live streams, leveraging FaceTime and those types of things to go over and to learn and to grow into parenting, but also connecting with my family as much as possible. So definitely key. When I was working a job and my nannies went over and quit, and then I almost died on the highway twice, I went over and took the role of full-time parent, and my wife was working the 18-hour plus shifts. It was crazy. A brand new perspective of the world of work, but we both you both need to go over and to do that. And it's a blessing to go over and share those parenting responsibilities. Don't go over and wait until last minute. Share that blessing each and every day. The number fourth one, which most guys are now going to be ecstatic that I mentioned this, is sexual fulfillment and consistency. That is a blessing and also a thriving thing to go over and have in your marriage, and that goes over and creates freedom. Why go over and not have that in your relationship? It's a blessing that's already there. Go over and have that. We think in this world that like we treat our spouses like cars, and we need to go over and renew in the next few years. Well, guess what? It doesn't get better. It will be fun in a moment to go over and say to do that whole cheating thing, but you're destroying so many benefits and blessings in taking a relationship that was made in God's image to go over and to destroy just because you're not taking the advantage of the blessings and the freedom you have in the relationship. I know for me, my sexual fulfillment and consistency was lacking for years, and my wife actually had a higher drive than me. So definitely go over and key. Sometimes you're both not going to be the same place. One person's going to be like this and the other person's going to be like this, and sometimes it's not always going to be beneficial. But if you go over and you sacrifice and you serve in the longevity of your relationship, you'll have more sexual fulfillment, and that consistency is a great blessing to go over and have. And usually, at least for us guys, in my belief, all it takes is 60 seconds to boom, turn the light on, even if you have a low drive, to go over and go. Some people might have medical issues and totally understand, but sometimes you do it to serve the partner, to go over all over serve the marriage. But it's a huge blessing that we need to have, and we need to take advantage of it. Us Americans, we're not having enough of it on a regular basis, and I actually condone to have sex as often as you can in your marriage relationship, barring your job, of course. Lastly, is one of the main benefits and freedoms that you have in your relationship is you have a 180-degree picture for decision making. This freedom is huge for not making the big mistakes that you walk into life. If I went over and just impulsively went over and made decisions like I normally do, I would have already been homeless a lot sooner. I would have been in a lot more reckless things, and actually I would have just probably never been married. But my wife goes over and gives me that other degree of picture that I would have never looked at. I didn't appreciate it first in my relationship, but now I thoroughly do, to go over and to see the other perspective in that particular regard. So, this is our first live with Twitter, and second on YouTube. We hope that you went over and enjoyed this as we're streaming live to you from Georgia. We are normally living in Scottsdale, Arizona. If your marriage is not thriving and it's struggling in the bedroom, or your relationships are struggling in the living room or in the boardroom, we help at Learn and Live from the bedroom to the boardroom. So we hope that you continue to watch the streams, like, comment, and share, and subscribe. And if you need somebody to go over and talk to, you can direct message me on Facebook. You can look for Learn and Live or Daniel Faust on that particular regard. As we go over and grow, we will put more into the feed so you guys have access to us. So thank you for your time. And in summary, your marriage has a lot of freedom in it. Go over and enjoy those blessings and leverage those opportunities instead of squandering them and then separating for something that was really simple. Most divorces nowadays are usually something for minors that we make majors. We need to go and focus on the majors and squash down those minors. So thank you for your time and attention.